Hello and welcome to FinextraTV. I'm Hannah Wallace and I'm kindly joined now by Susannah Hammond, Senior Regulatory Intelligence Expert at Thomson Reuters Regulatory Intelligence, and we're talking about Fintech, Regtech and the role of compliance in 2020. Hello Susannah, thank you very much for joining us.
No problem.
Now, Thomson Reuters Regulatory Intelligence have undertaken their 4th annual global survey that assesses the impact of developments around Fintech, Regtech, on the role, remit and expectations of compliance expectations in the financial service sector. But despite my brief introduction, could you expand on the report and tell us where you get your results from?
Really, we send out a global survey. So, as you say, this is the 4th one. And over the lifetime of the report, we've had best part of 6,000 people respond. We've had 10,000 downloads of the report. So, and it's one thing, it's very much free to air. People are generous enough with their time and their expertise to tell us what they think. I should make clear, this is not a report that says this fintech's better than that regtech or whatever. This is, okay, all of this change is happening in fintech and regtech. What do compliance officers do about it? So that's very much the focus. And what we do is we gather those results, analyse them, and feed them back to the industry and say, look, this is what you've told us. These are your concerns. This is what's going on, really. And then the extra layer, hopefully the value add we put on that is, well, okay, this is what's going on, and this is what we suggest you can actually do about it, and how you can meet the challenges and the ever-changing issues out there.
So I think it's safe to say the report covers a variety of attitudes.
Oh yeah.
So my next question then is, where are we with Fintech and Regtech?
There's been a real ebb and flow, actually. Originally, when we first started doing it, people were sort of, oh wow, Regtech, this is going to be the best thing ever. And that sort of eased off a wee bit, to be frank. But I think we're very much on the upswing again. 83% of folks said fintech was a good idea, 77% said regtech was a good idea. And you compare and contrast that to when we started in 2016, where the majority of people were actually neutral on whether or not the technology would be a good idea. And that's quite an attitude shift. And stating the obvious, to be frank, you need that attitude shift before people are truly going to adopt. So I think we are now on that upswing to say, actually, perhaps this will fulfill the potential that was there early on.
And not everyone did jump on the technology bandwagon, as it were. No. Some didn't deploy fintech or regtech, but could you tell us why?
There were some interesting reasons, actually. One was lack of skills. Another one was lack of investment. The third one was information security, data protection concerns. And then the next one, which was really interesting, was 14% of firms and 12% of GSIFIs, so the biggest of the big firms, said, strategically, we're not doing it. So a tenth or more of the industry are just saying, not for us. Now that is a really interesting die-hard laggards, if you see what I mean. You've got regulators around the world talking about regulatory sandboxes and this is the future and all of that, but you've got this little cluster saying, we're not doing it. So I think that will be a very interesting statistic to watch. It was the first time we'd asked this question, so we don't really have a benchmark to compare it against, but yeah.
So there are all these concerns around lack of skills, but what's being done about it?
There is a big investment going on, a really substantive investment, and at all levels. So it's not just the IT function that is gearing up, or the risk and compliance function. One of the questions we ask is, well, are you putting specialist skills or investing in specialist skills at the board level? Now, the GSIFIs, again, the biggest of the big firms, told us that 21% have either invested in or appointed specialist skills to the board. Now, that sounds like quite a good number, but it sounds even better when you think last year it was just 2%. So substantive investment being made into skills. And again, I think that helps keep the ball rolling in terms of adoption.
Well, I urge people to read the report. It's really interesting. Some interesting developments ahead, I think it's safe to say.
Definitely.
Susannah, thank you so much for speaking with us today.
No problem.